The silver gleamed wrong in the candlelight. Maya noticed it as she set the wineglass before the woman in emerald silk. The reflection caught something that should not have been there, a shimmer, faint and metallic, suspended in the ruby liquid like a secret trying to surface. Her hand steadied. She stepped back. The woman smiled. Her lips were painted dark red, the color of arterial blood. "Thank you," she said. Her accent was French, or performed French. Maya could not tell which. Maya nodded. She turned toward the kitchen. Her pulse kicked against her ribs, insistent and wrong. What she did not know yet was that in less than a minute, she would have to choose between silence and something that looked like treason. 12 hours earlier, the morning shift at Le Cygne Noir had started the way it always did. Maya arrived at 5:47. The restaurant smelled of lemon oil and old wood. The espresso machine hummed as it warmed. She tied her apron with the efficiency of someone who had done this 600 times before, the motion automatic and clean. Antoine, her manager, was already there. He was French. Actually French, not the kind who learned it in college. He looked at her over the rim of his glasses. "You will work the private dining room tonight." She paused mid-knot. "Me?" "Oui. High-profile client. Very high. No mistakes, Maya." She nodded. Mistakes were not something she could afford. Maya Reyes, 26 years old, waitress by necessity, nursing school dropout by circumstance. Her younger brother's leukemia treatment had drained everything 3 years ago, and the debt had not cared that he survived. She lived in a studio apartment that smelled like the Indian restaurant below and walked 40 minutes to work because bus fare added up. But she was good at her job. She remembered orders without writing them down. She knew when to speak and when to disappear into the background like wallpaper. Invisibility was a skill. She had learned it early. The private dining room was prepared by 7 in the evening. Everything gleamed: crystal glasses, polished silver, white roses arranged with the precision of a surgical instrument. Antoine briefed her in clipped sentences, his hands moving as he spoke. "The guest is a diplomatic figure. His fiancée will accompany him. Serve from the left. Remove from the right. Do not engage unless spoken to directly. Understood?" "Understood." Antoine paused. He looked at her. "And Maya, do not stare." That was the first warning. The second came when she saw him. He arrived at exactly 8 o'clock. Tall, but not unusually so. The kind of height that felt like it had weight behind it, like gravity worked differently around him. He wore a charcoal suit, perfectly cut. The fabric expensive in a way that did not announce itself. His hair was black, brushed back from a face that was symmetrical in the way statues were symmetrical. Pale, not sickly pale, moonlight pale. His eyes were gray, slate gray, the kind of color that should not exist in a human iris but did. And he did not blink. Not when he entered. Not when he pulled the chair out for the woman beside him. Not when Maya stepped forward with the menus and said softly, "Good evening." He looked at her, just once. It lasted perhaps half a second, but she felt it like cold water down her spine. The fiancée spoke more. Her name, Maya learned, was Celeste. She wore emerald silk that moved like water, and diamonds at her throat that caught the light with every breath. Her smile was bright and sharp, a kind of smile that looked practiced. She ordered the duck confit. He ordered nothing. "Just wine," he said. His voice was low, measured, every syllable deliberate. Maya brought the bottle, Chateau Margaux, 1998. She poured for Celeste first, then for him, her hand steady. Not a single drop spilled. He did not touch the glass. She returned to the kitchen. Her hands were steady, but her pulse was not. Antoine was plating appetizers, his movements efficient. "They seem pleased?" he asked without looking up. "I think so." "Good. Do not ruin this, Maya. He owns half the city." She did not ask who he was. She had learned not to ask questions like that. She brought the first course, seared scallops with citrus reduction, arranged like art on white porcelain. Celeste ate delicately, her fork precise. He watched her eat. Maya refilled the water glasses. She noticed his hand on the table. Long fingers, no rings, no tan lines, skin like wax, and cold. She knew because the air around him was cold, like standing near an open freezer. The second course came, then the third. Celeste drank. She laughed, the sound high and bright. She touched his wrist. He smiled. It did not reach his eyes. It was during dessert that Maya noticed the way Celeste's hand lingered near her wineglass. the way her fingers brushed the stem each time Maya turned away, a motion too deliberate to be absent-minded, and it was when Maya leaned down to clear the plates that she saw it. The shimmer. In the wine. Silver. Dissolved. Almost invisible unless you knew what to look for, unless the light caught it just right. But there. Her breath stopped. She looked at him. He was still watching Celeste. His expression was unreadable, carved from stone. Maya straightened. She stepped back, her mind racing. And without thinking, without planning, she leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Run, now." His eyes snapped to hers, gray meeting brown. The room went silent. Celeste's smile froze on her face like ice forming on glass. He did not run. He stood instead, slowly, gracefully, like a blade being drawn from a sheath. The motion was deliberate, controlled. Every muscle moved with intention. Celeste's hand was still on the glass. "Darlin'," she said. Her voice had an edge now, thin and bright like metal scraping glass. He looked at Maya, then at the wine glass, then back at Celeste. "You have been careless," he said quietly. Celeste's smile vanished. The brightness in her eyes went sharp, cold. Maya took a step back, then another. Her heart slammed against her ribs. "I did not mean," she started. "Leave us," he said, not to her, to Celeste. Celeste stood. The emerald silk whispered against the floor. Her eyes were bright, furious, but her face remained smooth. She looked at Maya once, a look that felt like a blade dragged across skin. Then she walked past without a word. The door closed. Maya was alone with him. He picked up the wine glass, held it to the light. The silver glimmered faintly, suspended in the red, like poison waiting to bloom. "You saw this," he said. It was not a question. Maya's mouth was dry. "Yes." "Why did you warn me?" She did not know how to answer that. Her hands were trembling now, the adrenaline catching up. "I do not know," she said finally. "It just felt wrong." He set the glass down with care. The base touched the table without sound. "Wrong," he repeated. He looked at her, really looked at her, his gray eyes steady and unreadable. "You have good instincts." She did not move, could not. He tilted his head slightly, studying her the way someone might study a painting they did not expect to find interesting. "What is your name?" "Maya, Maya." He said it like he was tasting the syllables. "You have just saved my life." She laughed. It came out sharp, nervous, too loud in the quiet room. "I do not think you are in that much danger from a glass of wine." His expression did not change. "Silver," he said quietly, "is lethal to my kind." The air in the room shifted, became heavier. Maya stared at him. "You're what?" He did not answer. Instead, he reached into his jacket and pulled out a card. Matte black, no logo, just a phone number embossed in silver ink. He held it out. "If you are ever in danger," he said, "call this number." She did not take it. Her hands stayed at her sides. "Why would I be in danger?" "Because," he said, "you have just made an enemy of someone very powerful." He placed the card on the table between them. Then he walked past her, toward the door. His footsteps were silent on the hardwood floor. "Wait," she said. He paused, did not turn. "Who are you?" He looked back. Just his head, just enough for her to see his profile. The candlelight caught his eyes, made them shine like polished stone. "My name is Dominic Ashford," he said, "and I am the Vampire King of the Eastern Territories." The door closed behind him. Maya stood in the empty room. The fire in the hearth crackled softly. The roses on the table gleamed white. The card sat on the white tablecloth like a small black wound. She did not sleep that night. She lay in her apartment, staring at the ceiling, listening to the sound of traffic outside and the couple arguing in the unit next door. The card was on her nightstand. She had brought it home without thinking. Vampires were not real. She repeated it in her head like a mantra. Vampires were not real. But his eyes had been gray, and then they had been something else, something that caught the light wrong. And the air around him had been cold, and he had not blinked. She turned over, pulled the blanket up to her chin, closed her eyes. Vampires were not real. 3 days passed. She worked her shifts, served tables, smiled at customers, did not think about gray eyes or black cards or the way the word king had sounded in his voice. She almost succeeded. On the third night, She was walking home from her shift. It was 11:34. The street was empty, except for the distant sound of traffic and the flicker of a broken streetlight 2 blocks down. She heard the footsteps behind her. Steady, measured, not hurried, but not casual either. She walked faster. The footsteps matched her pace. She turned the corner. Her apartment was 2 blocks away. She could make it. She would make it. The footsteps stopped. She stopped, turned slowly. The man stood under the streetlight. He wore a gray coat, expensive but understated. His face was pale, sharp-featured. His eyes reflected gold in the dim light, like an animal caught in headlights. He smiled. "Maya Reyes," he said. Her stomach dropped. "You have caused Quay a bit of trouble." She backed up. Her shoulder blades hit the brick wall behind her. "I do not know what you are talking about." "Celeste Laurent," he said, stepping forward. His shoes made no sound on the pavement. "You cost her a king." "I did not mean to. She has put a price on you." Her hands pressed flat against the brick. "A what?" "Nothing personal," he said, closer now. "Just business." She could not see him move. One moment he was 5 feet away. The next, he was in front of her, hand outstretched toward her throat. And then he was on the ground. Dominic stood between them. Maya had not heard him arrive, had not seen him approach. He was simply there, wearing the same charcoal suit, his eyes no longer gray. They were red. The man in the gray coat hissed. It was not a human sound. It came from somewhere deep in his chest, animal and wrong. "Lord Ashford," he said, pushing himself up, "this is not your concern. She is under my protection. She is a human. She is mine." The word rang in the air like a bell struck once, clear and absolute. The man in the gray coat hesitated. His golden eyes flicked between Dominic and Maya. Then he smiled, thin and cold. "You are making a mistake. Leave." The man studied him for a long moment. Then he looked at Maya, and his smile widened just slightly. "This is not over," he said, and then he was gone. Not walking away, just gone, like he had never been there at all. Maya's legs gave out. Dominic caught her before she hit the pavement. His hands were cold, solid, impossibly strong. They steadied her with care. "You are all right," he said quietly. She was not. Her breath came in shallow gasps. Her vision blurred at the edges. She looked up at him. His eyes were fading back to gray, the red receding like a tide pulling back from shore. "You are really—" "Yes." Her knees buckled again. He held her upright. "I do not understand." "I know." He helped her stand, his hands lingering on her arms, steadying her until her legs remembered how to hold weight. "You need to come with me," he said. "Where?" "Somewhere safe." She laughed. It sounded broken, jagged. Safe from what? He looked at her, and for the first time, she saw something in his expression that looked almost like regret. "From the people who want you dead," he said, "because you saved me." The car was black, sleek, silent when it moved. Maya sat in the passenger seat, hands folded in her lap, staring at nothing. Her breath fogged the window. She wiped it away with her sleeve. Dominic drove. His hands were steady on the wheel. Neither of them spoke. The city slid past outside. Streetlights, closed storefronts. A few people on corners, smoking, waiting. Normal people living normal lives. She tried to remember what that felt like. They pulled into an underground garage. Concrete walls, fluorescent lights that buzzed faintly. The kind of place that swallowed sound and gave nothing back. He led her to an elevator. The buttons only went down, not up, down. The descent felt longer than it should have. Her ears popped. She swallowed. The doors opened onto a hallway. Stone walls, old but maintained. Soft lighting from fixtures that looked like they belonged in a museum. At the end was a door with a keypad beside it. Dominic pressed his palm to the pad. The door opened. Inside was a library. Floor-to-ceiling shelves, dark wood, leather chairs worn smooth with age, a fire burning in a hearth that should not have existed this far underground, but did. Maya stepped inside. The air smelled like old paper and wood smoke. "Where are we?" "My home." She turned. "Under the city." "Yes." "Of course," she said faintly. "Because you are a vampire king." "Yes." She laughed. It came out sharp, thin. "This is insane." "I know." She pressed her palms to her eyes. Her hands were still shaking. "This is not happening." "Maya." She looked at him. He was standing in front of the fire. The light played over his face, softened the sharpness of his features. He looked almost human. Almost. "It is happening," he said quietly, "and I am sorry." She sat down in one of the chairs. Her legs would not hold her anymore. The leather was cool against her palms. "Why?" she asked. "Why did she try to poison you?" "Because I refused to marry her." And she thought murder was the appropriate response? "She thought," he said, "it would allow her family to take control of my territories." "Your territories?" "Yes." "How many do you have?" "7." She stared at him. "You are serious?" "Yes." She closed her eyes, opened them. The room was still there. He was still there. "What are you?" He sat down across from her. His movements were slow, deliberate, like he was trying not to startle her. "I am 347 years old," he said. "I was turned in 1676. I have ruled the Eastern Territories for 2 centuries. I do not age, I do not die, and I survive on blood." She opened her eyes. "Human blood?" "Yes." "Do you kill?" "Not anymore." "But you did." He did not look away. "Yes." The fire crackled. A log shifted, sent sparks up the chimney. She should have run. Every instinct told her to run. But her legs would not move. And beneath the fear, there was something else. Curiosity. A strange pull she could not name. "Why did you protect me?" she asked. He was quiet for a long moment. His eyes reflected the firelight. "Because you saw the silver," he said finally. "And you warned me. You did not know what I was. You did not know what would happen. You just acted. And that matters?" "Yes." "Why?" He looked at her. His eyes were gray again, soft in the low light. "Because no one has done that in a very long time," he said. She did not know what to say to that. He stood. "You should rest. There is a room prepared." "Prepared?" "I had it ready in case you came." "You thought I would come?" "I hoped." He led her down another hallway. More stone. More soft light. He stopped at a door and opened it. The room inside was absurd. A 4-poster bed with velvet curtains. A bay window that looked out onto a garden lit by lamps designed to mimic sunlight. Real plants. Real grass. "You have a garden," she said. "Underground. I have excellent horticulturalists." She almost laughed. "Of course you do." He lingered in the doorway. "You are safe here. No one can reach you." "How do you know?" "This is my territory, and I keep what is mine." That word again. Mine. She looked at him. "I am not yours." "No," he said quietly. "But I am responsible for you now. That is how it works. I did not ask for that." "I know." He closed the door. She stood in the center of the room, listening to his footsteps fade down the hall. Then she sat on the bed and put her face in her hands. She stayed for 3 days. The first day she did not leave the room. She slept, woke, slept again. Someone left food outside her door. She ate without tasting it. The second day she explored the library, the garden, hallways that went on longer than they should have. She did not see Dominic. The third day she found him. He was in the library, reading. The fire was burning. It always was. "Do you ever rest?" she asked from the doorway. He looked up. "Not the way you do." She stepped inside, sat down across from him. "What are you reading?" He held up the book. Meditations. Marcus Aurelius. "Philosophy?" "Old habits." She studied him. He looked tired, not physically, but something deeper. Like exhaustion that lived in the bones. "How old were you?" she asked. "When you were turned." 29. "And you have been 29 for 318 years." She tried to imagine it, could not. "Do you remember what it was like, being human?" He closed the book, set it on the table beside him. "Yes," he said quietly. "I remember everything." He told her about the plague. London, 1676. Bodies in the streets, faster than they could be cleared. His family dead within a week. His sister last. "I was dying," he said. "Fever, delirium. A man found me in an alley. He offered me a choice." "What choice?" "Death, or this." She did not ask which he chose. The answer was obvious. "Do you regret it?" He looked at the fire. The flames reflected in his eyes. "Every day," he said, "and not at all." She thought about that. About living for 3 centuries. Watching everyone you knew die. Watching the world change and change again. "That sounds lonely." "It is." She leaned back in the chair. The leather creaked softly. "Why were you going to marry her, Celeste?" "I was not." "Then why?" The engagement was political, he said. A treaty between families. I agreed to consider it. She interpreted that as confirmation. And when you refused, she decided I needed to be removed. And replaced with who? Her brother. Maya blinked. That is, efficient, Dominic said. His mouth curved slightly. Not quite a smile. If nothing else. She almost smiled back. He asked about her brother. She told him. Danny, 17 years old now, leukemia at 14. 3 years of treatment. Remission, thank God. But the bills did not care about remission. How much do you owe? $47,000. He did not react. I will pay it. She stared at him. What? I will pay it. Consider it a debt. I did not save your life for money. I know. Then why? Because I can, he said simply. And because you should not have to carry that weight. Her throat tightened. She looked away. I do not know what to say. Say yes. She looked at him. His eyes were steady, calm. Yes, she whispered. That night, she dreamed of cold hands and gray eyes and a voice that said, You are safe now. She almost believed it. The call came at 2:17 in the morning. Maya was asleep. Dominic was in the library, as he always was at that hour. He did not sleep, did not need to. The phone rang once. He answered. Speak. The voice on the other end was smooth. Female. Familiar. Celeste. Lord Ashford. She sounded pleased. I hope I am not interrupting. His hand tightened on the phone. What do you want? You have something of mean. I have nothing of yours. The girl, Maya Reyes, 4171 Ashland Avenue, apartment 3B, quaint little place. And her brother, Danny, 17, is he not? Currently staying with your aunt, I believe, Marguerite Reyes, 822 Maple Street. The air in the room went cold. If you touch them, I will not, Celeste said lightly. If you return what is mine, she is not yours, then we have a problem. The line went dead. Dominic was in Maya's room in seconds. She woke to his hand on her shoulder, firm but careful. Get dressed. She sat up, blinking. Her hair was tangled. What? Now? The tone made her move. She pulled on jeans, a sweater. Her hands fumbled with the buttons. What is happening? Celeste knows where your family is. Her stomach dropped. What? She is threatening them. Oh my God. They are safe, for now. But we need to move them. Where? Here. She stared at him. You want to bring my family to your vampire lair? Yes. They do not know about. They will. She grabbed her shoes, shoved her feet into them without tying the laces. Her mind was racing. Danny, Aunt Marge. She had not seen them in weeks. Too busy working, too busy surviving, too busy pretending her life was normal. They took the car. Dominic drove fast but controlled. The streets were empty at this hour. Street lights blurred past. Maya gripped the door handle. What if we are too late? We are not. You do not know that. I do. She looked at him. His jaw was tight. His eyes were fixed on the road. How? I have people watching them. You what? Since the moment you warned me, he said, I knew there would be consequences. She did not know whether to be grateful or angry, settled on both. They pulled up to her aunt's house at 3:02 in the morning, a small 2-story in a quiet neighborhood. The porch light was on. Dominic did not knock. He opened the door. Marguerite Reyes was in the hallway, baseball bat in hand. She was 53, short, strong, with gray streaks in her black hair. Who the hell? Aunt Marge, it is me. Maya pushed past Dominic. Her aunt lowered the bat. Maya, what are you doing here at 3 in the morning? We need to leave. Now. What are you talking about? There is no time. Where is Danny? Upstairs. Maya, what is going on? Dominic stepped inside. The hallway light caught his face. Marguerite froze. Who is that? A friend, Maya said quickly. He is helping us. Helping us with what? I will explain later. Please, we need to go. Danny came downstairs. 17, thin from the treatments, but his eyes were bright. His hair had grown back, dark and curly. Maya? She pulled him into a hug, held on tight. We are going somewhere safe, she said. Safe from what? Dominic's phone buzzed. He looked at the screen. His expression did not change, but Maya saw the tension in his jaw. We need to go, he said quietly. Now. They made it to the car. Marguerite in front, Danny and Maya in back. They did not make it out of the driveway. The man in the gray coat stepped in front of the car. He was not alone. 3 others flanked him. 2 men, 1 woman, all pale, all still in a way that living things were not still. Dominic stopped the car. Stay inside, he said. Maya grabbed his arm. Do not. Stay. Inside. He got out. Greycoat smiled. His teeth were white. Too white, Lord Ashford. How kind of you to make this easy. Let them go. I do not think so. Dominic took a step forward. His shoulders shifted. Something in his posture changed. His eyes went from gray to red. Danny, close your eyes, Maya whispered. What is happening? Close them. Marguerite stared out the windshield. Mother of God. Dominic moved. Maya had seen him move before, but this was different. This was violence. He was a blur. Faster than sight. Faster than thought. Greycoat went down first. Dominic's hand at his throat, twisting. The sound of bone breaking. The others lunged. One caught Dominic's shoulder. Claws raked across his back. His shirt tore. Blood welled, black in the dim light. He did not slow. He caught the second by the neck and threw him into the side of the house. The impact cracked the siding. The woman tried to run. Dominic let her. The third attacker came at him again. Dominic moved. His hand shot out. There was a wet sound. The man dropped. Greycoat was still alive. Barely. He crawled toward the street. Dominic stepped on his back. Lean down. Tell Celeste, he said quietly, that if she comes near them again, I will burn her family's estate to the ground, with everyone inside. Greycoat nodded. Blood leaked from his mouth. Dominic let him go. He stood in the driveway, breathing hard, blood on his hands, his shirt torn, his eyes still red. Maya opened the door. Do not, he said without turning. You are hurt. I am fine. You are bleeding. I said I am fine. The words came out sharp, harsh. She flinched. He closed his eyes, took a breath. I am sorry, he said quietly. I am sorry. Just stay back, please. She did not. She walked toward him, slowly. Maya, shut up. She reached him, looked up. His eyes were fading, red to gray. You've saved us, she said. I am a monster. No, you are not. You just saw what I did. I saw you protect my family. He looked at her, really looked. Why are you not afraid? She did not have a good answer. I do not know. I should be, but I am not. He reached for her, stopped. His hand hovered near her face. I will ruin you, he said. Maybe. You should run. I know. Then why are you still here? She took his hand. It was cold, blood-slicked, shaking. Because you need me, she said simply. His control broke. He pulled her close, his forehead pressed to hers. His breath was cold against her skin. I do not deserve this, he whispered. I do not care. Behind them, Marguerite cleared her throat. So, she said, vampire? Maya closed her eyes. Yeah, vampire. Okay, Marguerite nodded once. We are going to need to have a very long conversation about this. Danny's voice came from the car, muffled. Can I open my eyes now? Not yet, mijo. Dominic pulled back, looked at Maya. Something in his expression had shifted, softened. Thank you, he said. For what? For not running. She smiled, small, tired. Where would I go? He almost smiled back. They got back in the car. This time, no one stopped them. They stayed in Dominic's home for 2 weeks. Marguerite adapted faster than Maya expected. On the second day, she explored the entire underground estate, opening doors, inspecting rooms, nodding to herself like she was evaluating a hotel. I have seen weirder, she said at breakfast. Maya looked up from her coffee. Where? Florida. Danny laughed. It was the first time Maya had heard him laugh in months. Dominic gave them the East Wing. 3 bedrooms, a sitting room, a bathroom with a tub big enough to swim in. Everything was old but maintained. Antique furniture, paintings that looked like they belonged in museums. How long have you lived here? Marguerite asked. 170 years, Dominic said. She nodded slowly. You own it? I own the building, a bucket as well, and the 3 adjacent properties. Of course you do. Danny was fascinated. He followed Dominic everywhere, asking questions in the way only a 17-year-old could. Do you sparkle? No. Can you turn into a bat? No. Do you sleep in a coffin? I have a bed. Can you fly? No. That is boring. Dominic's mouth curved slightly, almost a smile. I apologize for the inconvenience. Danny grinned. Maya watched them from the library doorway. Dominic was patient with him, answered every question, no matter how absurd. He did not talk down to Danny, did not treat him like a child. Marguerite appeared beside her. He is good with him, she said quietly. Yeah, you trust him? Maya thought about that, about gray eyes and cold hands and the way he had stood between her and danger without hesitation. I do. Marguerite nodded. Good, because if he hurts you, vampire or not, I will find a way to kill him. Noted. On the fourth day, Danny asked about the scars. They were in the library. Danny was sprawled on the couch, reading. Dominic sat in his usual chair, a book open on his lap. "Where did you get those?" Danny asked. Dominic looked up. "Which ones?" "All of them." Maya glanced over. She had noticed them before. Thin white lines on his hands, a jagged mark along his jaw, another at his collarbone, visible when his shirt shifted. "Fights," Dominic said. "Most of them. With other vampires? Some. Others with humans. Humans can hurt you? If they know what they are doing, yes." Danny sat up. "What hurts you, besides silver?" "Fire, decapitation, prolonged starvation. Sunlight? It burns, slowly, painfully. But it does not kill immediately." "How long would it take?" "Hours, depending on the exposure." Danny absorbed this. "That sounds awful." "It is." "Have you ever?" "Once," Dominic said. "A long time ago. I do not recommend it." Maya set down her book. "Why did you do it?" He looked at her. His eyes were gray, distant. "I wanted to see if I still could," he said quietly. "If I could still feel something that simple." "Did it work?" "No." The room went quiet. The fire crackled. Danny looked between them. Then he stood. "I am going to find Aunt Marge." He left. Maya moved to the chair across from Dominic. "You did not have to tell him that." He asked. "He is 17. He is old enough to hear the truth." She studied him. He looked tired again, that deep exhaustion that had nothing to do with sleep. "Do you ever feel anything?" she asked. "Simple things, I mean." He closed his book. Set it aside. "Sometimes," he said. "Rarely." "Like what?" He was quiet for a long moment. The fire reflected in his eyes. "Warmth," he said finally. "When someone touches me and their skin is warm, I feel that." "What else?" "Curiosity. When someone surprises me. That does not happen often." "Anything else?" He looked at her. "You." Her breath caught. "What do you mean?" "You make me feel," he said quietly. "Things I thought I had forgotten how to feel." She did not know what to say to that. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. 300 years, Maya. I have lived 300 years. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have watched people I cared about grow old and die. I have killed. I have ruled. I have done everything a person can do. And I was empty. I did not realize how empty until you looked at me and saw something worth saving." Her throat tightened. "You did not need saving." "Yes," he said, "I did." She reached across the space between them, took his hand. It was cold, but solid, real. "You are not empty," she said. "How do you know?" "Because empty things do not protect people. They do not pay off strangers' debts. They do not answer a 17-year-old's questions about turning into bats." He almost smiled. "You see the best in people," he said. "I see what is there. That is a rare gift. Or a dangerous one. Perhaps both." They sat like that for a while, her hand in his, the fire burning low. Finally, he spoke. "Celeste will not stop. I know. She will come for you, for your family. I know. The council will convene in 3 days. I will bring formal charges against her. Attempted assassination, threats against protected humans, violation of the accords. What will happen to her? Exile, if they are merciful. Execution, if they are not." Maya pulled her hand back. "You would kill her?" "I would not have to. The council would." "That is the same thing." "Is it?" She looked at him. "You do not want her dead." "I want her gone," he said. "There is a difference." "What difference?" "Intent." He leaned back. "I do not kill out of anger anymore. I kill out of necessity. There is a line between the two. It is thin, but it exists." "And which side are you on?" "I am trying very hard to stay on the right one." She believed him. On the 7th day, Marguerite asked the question Maya had been avoiding. They were in the kitchen. Marguerite was making coffee. Maya was reading the paper. Normal things. Ordinary things. "You care about him," Marguerite said. Maya did not look up. "Who?" "Do not play dumb, Mija." "The vampire king who looks at you like you hung the moon." Maya set the paper down. "It is complicated. Life is complicated." "That is not an answer." "I don't know what it is." "Do you care about him?" Maya looked at her hands. "Yes. Does he care about you?" "I think so." Then it's not that complicated. He is 300 years old, Aunt Marge. So I am 26. And he is a vampire. Marguerite poured 2 cups of coffee, slid one across the counter. Maya, listen to me. I have lived 53 years. I have seen a lot of things. Strange things, terrible things, beautiful things. And you know what I have learned? What? That love does not care about logic. It does not care about age or species or whether it makes sense. It just is. I did not say I loved him. You did not have to. Maya picked up her coffee. It was too hot. She drank it anyway. I am scared, she said quietly. Of him? Of this. Of what it means. Marguerite reached across the counter, took her hand. Then be scared, she said, but do not run. Not from something real. Maya looked at her. How do you know it is real? Because I see the way you look at each other. Like you are both drowning, and you just found air. Maya laughed. It came out wet. That is dramatic. That is true. That night, Maya could not sleep. She went to the library, knew she would find him there. He was reading again. Always reading. Like he was trying to consume every book ever written. Cannot sleep? He asked without looking up. No. Neither can I. She smiled despite herself. You do not sleep. A technicality. She sat down. The fire was burning. It always was. Dominic? Yes. What happens after this, after the council? He closed his book, looked at her. That depends. On what? On what you want. She met his eyes. Gray, steady, searching. I do not know what I want. Then we will figure it out, he said quietly. Together. The word hung in the air between them. Together. She thought she could learn to like the sound of that. The attack came on the 9th day. Maya was in the garden with Danny. He was telling her about a book he had found in the library. Something about ancient Rome. His hands moved as he talked, animated in the way they used to be before the sickness. She was listening, smiling. Then the lights went out. All of them. At once. The garden plunged into darkness. Maya, Danny's voice was small. Stay close to me. She reached for him, found his hand, held tight. What is happening? I do not know. But she did. Somewhere deep in her bones, she knew. Footsteps. Multiple sets, coming from different directions. Run, she whispered. What? Run. Now. They ran. The garden was large, winding paths between raised beds and trellises. Maya pulled Danny behind her, moving on eye. Instinct. Her foot slammed against her ribs. A shadow moved to their left. She veered right. Another shadow. Ahead this time. She stopped. Danny crashed into her back. Maya, shh! The shadows stepped into the dim emergency lighting that had kicked on. 3 of them. 2 men, 1 woman. All pale, all smiling. The woman spoke. Her accent was French. Maya Reyes, we have been looking for you. Maya stepped in front of Danny. Leave him alone. We are not here for the boy. We are here for you. Why? Celeste sends her regards. The woman moved. Fast. Too fast. Maya shoved Danny backward. Run! He did. The woman's hand caught Maya's throat, lifted her off the ground. Her feet kicked uselessly. Nothing personal, the woman said. Her eyes were gold. Just business. Maya could not breathe. Her vision blurred at the edges. Then, the woman was gone. Maya hit the ground hard, gasped for air. Dominic stood between her and the attackers. His eyes were red. His hands were steady. You made a mistake, he said quietly. The woman laughed. We are 3. You are 1. Yes. He moved. Maya had seen him fight before. But not like this. Not with this kind of precision. He caught the first man by the throat, slammed him into the ground. The impact cracked stone. The second man lunged. Dominic sidestepped. His hand shot out. There was a wet sound. The man dropped. The woman was faster. She anticipated his movements. Her claws raked across his chest. Blood welled, dark and thick. Dominic did not slow. He caught her wrist, twisted. The bones snapped. She screamed. He leaned close, said something Maya could not hear. The woman went pale, paler than she already was. Then she ran. Dominic let her. He turned. His eyes were still red. Blood dripped from his chest, soaked through his shirt. Are you hurt? He asked. Maya shook her head. could not speak yet. He crossed to her, knelt. His hands were gentle on her shoulders. "Breathe," he said quietly. "You are safe." She breathed. In. Out. Her throat ached. "Danny. He is with Marguerite. I sent word the moment the power went out." "How did they get in?" His jaw tightened. "Someone let them in." "Who?" "I do not know yet, but I will find out." He helped her stand. Her legs shook. He steadied her. "Come, we need to leave." "Leave? This is your home, and it has been compromised." His voice was hard, controlled. "We are not safe here anymore." They found Marguerite and Danny in the library. Marguerite had a fire poker in her hand. Danny was behind her, pale but steady. "We need to go," Dominic said. "Now." "Where?" Marguerite asked. "Somewhere Celeste cannot reach." "Where is that?" "The council chambers, neutral ground. She cannot touch you there." They move fast. Dominic led them through hallways Maya had never seen before. Service corridors, hidden passages. The kind of things you built when you expected enemies. They emerged in the garage, the same black car. Dominic opened the doors. "Get in." They did. He drove fast, faster than before. The city blurred past. Maya kept one hand on Danny's shoulder, felt him breathing. Alive, safe, for now. "How did she find us?" Maya asked. Dominic's hands tightened on the wheel. "Someone in my household betrayed me." "Who?" "I do not know, but there are only 7 people with access to the estate. I will question each of them. And if they lie?" He glanced at her in the mirror. His eyes were gray again, but cold. "They will not lie," he said. They pulled up to a building downtown, tall, glass and steel, ordinary looking. "This is the council chambers?" Maya asked. "The entrance." Dominic got out, opened her door. "The actual chambers are below." Of course they were. The elevator descended for a long time, longer than it had to Dominic's estate. Maya's ears popped twice. The doors opened onto marble floors, high ceilings, columns that looked like they had been carved 1,000 years ago. People moved through the space, some human, most not. Maya could tell the difference now. The way they moved, the stillness in their posture, the way their eyes tracked movement. Dominic led them to a set of double doors. He knocked once. A voice from inside. "Enter." The room beyond was a study, dark wood, leather chairs, a desk the size of Maya's entire apartment. Behind the desk sat a woman, black skin, silver hair pulled back, eyes that looked ancient. She looked at Dominic, then at Maya and her family. "Lord Ashford, I was not expecting you until the hearing." "Plans changed," Magistrate Okoye. "I see." Her gaze moved to Maya, assessed her. "This is the human?" "Her name is Maya Reyes. She and her family require sanctuary." "On what grounds?" "Celeste Laurent has made multiple attempts on their lives. Her people breached my estate tonight." The magistrate's expression did not change, but something shifted in her eyes. "Your estate was breached?" "Yes. That is concerning. It is a violation of the Accords, an attack on sovereign territory." "And you believe Celeste is responsible?" "I know she is. One of her people infest before I let them go." "Let them go? I am trying to do this the right way, Magistrate." She leaned back in her chair, studied him. "The right way would have been to kill them and present their bodies as evidence." "I am aware." "Yet you chose mercy. I chose restraint." "Why?" Dominic glanced at Maya, then back at the magistrate. "Because someone recently reminded me that there is a difference." The magistrate's mouth curved, almost a smile. "Interesting." She stood, came around the desk, stopped in front of Maya. "You are the one who warned him about the silver." "Yes." "Why?" Maya thought about that, about the shimmer in the wine, the wrongness of it. "Because it was the right thing to do," she said. "The right thing." The magistrate repeated the words like she was tasting them. How refreshingly simple. She turned to Dominic. "They may stay. I will assign guards." "Thank you." "Do not thank me yet. The hearing is in 2 days. If the council rules against you, sanctuary ends. They will not rule against me." "You are certain?" "I have evidence, witnesses, and the law. And Celeste has allies." "Not enough." The magistrate nodded slowly. "We shall see." She called for guards. 2 of them appeared. Both vampires, both armed. "Take them to the East Wing. No one enters without my permission." The guards nodded. Dominic turned to Maya. You will be safe here. What about you? I have things to take care of. Dominic. He stepped close, lowered his voice so only she could hear. I will not let her hurt you, he said. I promise. I know, but who is going to keep you safe? His expression softened. I have lived 300 years. I know how to take care of myself. That is not an answer. He touched her face, just briefly. His hand was cold. I will be careful, he said. Then he was gone. Maya watched the doors close behind him. Marguerite moved beside her. He will be all right. You do not know that. No, but I believe it, and so do you. Maya looked at her. When did you become an optimist? About 5 minutes after I realized my niece fell in love with a vampire king. I did not. Yes, you did. Maya closed her eyes, opened them. Yeah, she said quietly. I did. The guards led them to their rooms. More luxury, more space. Danny was asleep within minutes, exhaustion finally catching up. Marguerite went to bed soon after. Maya stood at the window, looked out over the underground city spread below, lights glowing, people moving, a whole world beneath the world. She thought about Dominic, about cold hands and gray eyes and the way he had stood between her and death without hesitation. She thought about the hearing in 2 days, and she wondered if the law would be enough, or if love would have to be. A hearing began at sunset. Maya was not allowed to attend, not at first. She sat in the waiting room with Marguerite and Danny. The guards stood at the door, silent, still. An hour passed, then another. Finally the doors opened. A man stepped out, tall, silver hair, eyes like ice. Maya Reyes. She stood. Yes. The council requests your testimony. Her stomach dropped. What? Lord Ashford has invoked the right of witness. As the human in question, you are required to speak. Marguerite grabbed her hand. She does not have to do this. Actually, she does. The man said, not unkindly. It is council law. Maya looked at her aunt. It is okay. Maya, I will be fine. She followed the man through the doors. The chamber beyond was massive, circular, tiered seating rising up on all sides. At the center was a floor of polished stone. Above it, a domed ceiling painted with constellations. 50 vampires sat in the tiers. Maybe more, all watching. At the far end, behind a raised platform, sat 5 figures. The council. Magistrate Okoye in the center. Dominic stood on the floor, alone. Across from him stood Celeste. She wore white, a gown that looked like it cost more than Maya made in a year. Her hair was perfect. Her smile was serene. She looked like innocence itself. Maya's hands clenched. The man led her to a podium, left her there. Magistrate Okoye spoke. Her voice carried without effort. Maya Reyes, you stand before the High Council as witness to the charges brought against Celeste Laurent. Do you understand? Yes. You will answer truthfully. Deception before this council is punishable by death. Do you understand? I was working, serving the private dining room. Lord Ashford and Celeste Laurent were dining together. I brought the wine. When I set it down, I noticed something in the glass. What did you notice? A shimmer, like metal dissolved in liquid. And what did you do? I warned Lord Ashford. Why? She looked at Celeste, then back at Dominic. Because it looked wrong. Dangerous. Did you know what it was? No, not then. And after? Lord Ashford told me, silver. A murmur ran through the chamber. Okoye raised a hand. Silence fell. Miss Reyes, did you see who placed the silver in the wine? Maya hesitated. No, but Celeste's hand was near the glass, multiple times. Celeste laughed. Soft, disbelieving. This is absurd. I would never. You will have your turn to speak, Okoye said coldly. Celeste's mouth closed. Dominic continued. After that night, what happened? Celeste put a price on me. Her people came after me. Lord Ashford protected me. How many times? Twice. Once on the street. Once at my aunt's house. And the third time. Maya's throat tightened. They broke into Lord Ashford's estate. Attacked me in the garden. Another murmur. Louder this time. And who sent them? Celeste. How do you know? One of them said so. Before Lord Ashford let her go. Dominic stepped back. No further questions. Okoye looked at Celeste. Your turn. Celeste approached. Her heels clicked on the stone. She stopped in front of Maya, smiled. Miss Reyes, you are a waitress, correct? Yes. How much do you make, annually? Maya blinked. I do not see how that is relevant. Answer the question. About 30,000. 30,000. Celeste nodded. And your brother, Danny, he was sick, correct? Maya's hands tightened on the podium. Yes. Expensive treatments, medical bills, debt. Celeste tilted her head. Tell me, how much did Lord Ashford pay to clear those debts? The chamber went silent. Maya's face burned. $47,000. 47,000. Celeste turned to the council. A substantial sum. One might even call it a bribe. It was not a bribe. Was it not? He paid your debts, gave you sanctuary, protected your family, and in return, you come here and lie for him. I am not lying. Are you certain? Or have you simply convinced yourself that his generosity means he must be innocent? Maya's breath came fast. I know what I saw. You saw a shimmer in a glass. That is all. You did not see me place anything. You have no proof, just suspicion, and a very convenient reason to side with the man who saved your family. Celeste stepped back, smiled at the council. This human is compromised. Her testimony is worthless. She returned to her place. Maya's hands shook. She looked at Dominic. His expression was unreadable. Okoye spoke. Miss Reyes, you may step down. Maya did. Her legs barely held her. She passed Dominic on the way out. He did not look at her. She returned to the waiting room. Marguerite pulled her into a hug. What happened? I do not know. She made it sound like I was bought. That is ridiculous. Is it? Maya pulled back. She is right. He paid our debts. He protected us. Why would the council believe me? Because you are telling the truth. Truth does not matter if it looks like a lie. They waited. Hours passed. Finally, the doors opened again. Dominic stepped out. His face was carved from stone. Maya stood. What happened? The council is deliberating. And it could go either way. What do we do? He looked at her. His eyes were gray, tired. We wait. But Maya could not wait, could not sit still while everything hung in the balance. She stood. I need to do something. Maya. No. Listen. Celeste is winning because she made it look like I am biased. Like I owe you. You do not owe me anything. I know that. You know that. But the council does not. She stepped closer. Let me talk to them. Alone. No lawyers. No protocol. Just me. They will not allow it. Then make them allow it. He stared at her. Why? Because you saved my life, and I am not going to let her take yours. Something shifted in his expression. Softened. You do not have to do this. Yes. She said, I do. He nodded once. I will arrange it. An hour later, Maya stood before the council again. Alone this time. No podium, no script, just her. Okoye looked down at her. You requested this audience. Speak. Maya took a breath. I know how this looks. I know it seems like I am compromised, that I owe Lord Ashford something. And maybe I do, but not in the way Celeste wants you to believe. She looked at each council member in turn. I am a waitress. I work long hours for low pay. I dropped out of nursing school to take care of my brother. I have spent 3 years drowning in debt. And yes, Lord Ashford paid it. He did not have to. I did not ask him to. He did it because he is a good man. Not because he wanted something from me. She stepped forward. I warned him that night because it was the right thing to do. Not because I knew who he was. Not because I expected a reward. I did it because I saw someone in danger and I could not walk away. Her voice steadied. Celeste tried to kill him, and when that failed, she tried to kill me. My family. People who had nothing to do with any of this. She broke into his home. She violated the accords. And she is standing here in a white dress pretending to be innocent. Maya looked at Celeste. Met her eyes. You almost won. You almost made them think I was bought, but you made one mistake. What mistake? Celeste said coldly. You assumed I would lie for him, but I do not need to lie. The truth is enough. Maya turned back to the council. I am not asking you to believe me because I am human, or because I am poor, or because Lord Ashford helped me. I am asking you to believe me because I am telling you what happened. And if that is not enough... Her voice broke. Then I do not know what is. Silence. Okoye studied her for a long moment. Then she looked at the other council members. Something passed between them. A silent conversation. Finally, Okoye spoke. Celeste Laurent, stand. Celeste stood. Her smile was gone. The council finds you guilty of attempted assassination, conspiracy, and violation of sovereign territory. You are hereby stripped of your titles and exiled from the Eastern Territories. You have 24 hours to leave. If you return, the sentence is death. Celeste's face went white. You cannot. We can and we have. Okoye's voice was iron. Take her. Guards appeared, led Celeste away. She did not look back. Maya's legs gave out. Dominic caught her, pulled her close. You did it, he whispered. We did it. He held her, right there, in front of the council, in front of everyone. And for the first time in 300 years, he did not care who saw. 3 weeks later, Maya stood in front of Le Cygne Noir. She had not been back since that night. The night everything changed. Antoine was inside, polishing glasses. He looked up when she entered. Maya. He set the glass down. I did not think you would return. Neither did I. You are here to work? She shook her head. I am here to quit. He nodded slowly, like he had expected it. The king made you a better offer. Something like that. I am happy for you. He smiled, small, genuine. You were always too good for this place. That is not true. It is, but you were too kind to say so. He reached under the bar, pulled out an envelope, your final paycheck, and a bonus for 3 years of excellent service. She took it. Thank you. No, thank you. He paused. He is a good man, the king? Maya thought about gray eyes and cold hands and the way Dominic looked at her like she was something precious. Yes, she said. He is. She left the restaurant. Walked 3 blocks to where the car was waiting. Dominic was in the driver's seat. He looked at her as she got in. How did it go? Good. Strange, but good. He pulled into traffic. Do you regret it? Quitting? All of it. She looked at him, at the way sunlight filtered through the tinted windows, caught in his hair. At the way his hands rested on the wheel. Steady, sure. No, she said. I do not regret any of it. He almost smiled. They drove to the new apartment. Not underground this time. A penthouse downtown. 3 bedrooms. Floor-to-ceiling windows with blackout shades. A kitchen Marguerite had already claimed as her own. Danny was there when they arrived. He was at the counter, reading. A college brochure. You are really thinking about it? Maya asked. He looked up, grinned. Why not? I have 3 years to make up for. Might as well start now. What are you thinking, major-wise? History, maybe classics. He glanced at Dominic. Someone has been talking to me about ancient Rome. Has he? Extensively, Dominic shrugged. He asked questions, I answered them. You are a bad influence, Maya said. Probably. Danny laughed, stood. I am going to my room. Leave you 2 alone. He left. Marguerite appeared from the kitchen, flour on her hands. Dinner in an hour. Do not be late. We will not, Maya said. Her aunt gave her a look. The kind of look that said, I know exactly what you are thinking. Then she disappeared back into the kitchen. Maya turned to Dominic. Do you want to? Yes. They went to the balcony. The sun was setting, orange and pink bleeding across the sky. Dominic stood in the shade, away from the direct light. Maya leaned against the railing. Does it hurt, being this close? A little, but I have had worse. You do not have to stay out here. I want to. She looked at him. He was watching the sunset. Something in his expression was soft, open. What are you thinking? She asked. That I have not watched a sunset in 200 years. Why not? Because it hurt too much, remembering what I lost. And now? He looked at her. Now it hurts less. She stepped closer, into the shade with him. The council approved your position, he said. My what? Human liaison. You start next week. She blinked. I thought that was just something you said, to convince me to stay. I never say things I do not mean. What will I even do? Represent human interests in vampire matters, mediate disputes, attend council meetings, make sure people like me do not forget what it means to be mortal. That is a lot of responsibility. You can handle it. How do you know? Because you stood in front of the council and told them the truth. Even when it was terrifying, even when you had everything to lose, he stepped closer. That is exactly the kind of person we need. Her throat tightened. I do not want to disappoint you. You could not. Even if you tried. She looked up at him, at the way the fading light caught in his eyes. Gray, always gray. Dominic, yes. What are we doing? He tilted his head slightly. What do you mean? This. Us. I am your human liaison. You are the vampire king. What is this? He was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached for her hand, slowly, giving her time to pull away. She did not. His hand was cold, hers was warm. I do not know, he said quietly. I have lived 347 years. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have ruled territories and commanded armies. But this, he looked at their joined hands, this is new. New how? I have never cared about someone the way I care about you. Her breath caught. Dominic, I do not know what to call it. I do not know what it becomes. But I know that when I look at you, I feel something I thought I had lost forever. What? He met her eyes. Hope. She stepped closer, close enough to feel the cold radiating from him, close enough to see the way his jaw tightened, the way his eyes darkened. I am terrified, she whispered. Of me? Of this? Of what it means? You are immortal. I am not. You have centuries ahead of you. I have decades. How does that work? I do not know. That is not reassuring. I know. He lifted his free hand, touched her face. His fingers were cold against her cheek. But I would rather have decades with you than centuries without you. Her eyes burned. You do not mean that. I have never meant anything more. She kissed him. He went still, surprised. Then his hand moved to the back of her neck. Gentle, careful, like she was something fragile. The kiss was soft, tentative. His lips were cold, but they warmed against hers. When they pulled back, his eyes were wide, uncertain. Was that? He started. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. He smiled. A real smile. The kind that reached his eyes. Good, he said. They stood like that for a while, watching the sun disappear below the horizon, her hand in his thumb tracing circles on her skin. What happens now? She asked. You start your new job. I continue ruling. We figure this out as we go. And if we cannot figure it out, then we will fail spectacularly, together. She laughed. That is romantic. I am 300 years old. I am out of practice. I do not believe that. Believe it, Marguerite called from inside. Dinner. They went in. Danny was already at the table. Marguerite was plating food. Pasta, homemade sauce, garlic bread. It smelled like home. They ate together, talked, laughed. Dominic did not eat, but he stayed, listened, smiled at Danny's jokes. After dinner, Maya found him in the study. He was reading. Always reading. Do you ever get tired of books? She asked. No. Why not? Because every book is a life I did not live, a perspective I did not have, a world I will never see. He closed the book. Books are how I remember what it means to be human. She sat beside him. You are more human than you think. Am I? Yes. How do you know? Because monsters do not read Marcus Aurelius. They do not answer a 17-year-old's questions about bats. They do not pay off strangers' medical debt. She leaned against him. And they definitely do not watch sunsets even when it hurts. He put his arm around her, pulled her close. You see the best in people, he said quietly. I see what is there. Then I hope you keep looking. She would. 6 months later, Maya stood in the council chambers, not as a witness this time, as a representative. She wore a tailored suit, her hair pulled back, confident, professional. The council listened as she spoke, about human rights, about protections, about the accords. She had learned the language, the protocols, the way to navigate this world. But she had not lost herself. When she finished, Magistrate Okoye nodded. Well-spoken Liaison Reyes. Maya returned to her seat. Dominic was there, watching, proud. After the session, they walked through the underground city, hand in hand. You were incredible, he said. I was terrified. You did not show it. Good. They stopped at the garden, the one beneath his estate. It had been repaired, replanted, new life in old soil. Do you ever wonder what your life would have been like, he asked, if you had not warned me that night? She thought about it, about the restaurant, the debt, the endless cycle of work and worry. Sometimes, she said, but then I remember I would not have this, and this is better. Even with the danger, the politics, the vampires, especially with the vampires. He smiled. They had time. Not forever. Not for him. But decades. Years. Moments strung together like stars in the dark. And for the first time in 347 years, Dominic thought that might be enough. More than enough. It might be everything.